Welcome to the Deep Dive. Right, today we're diving into the practice sessions from the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, Baku City Circuit. It's always high drama, isn't it? Ambition hits the asphalt.
Yeah,
And quite often the walls, too.
absolutely. It's notorious for shaking things up, showing you exactly where the cars stand, and yeah. Friday did not disappoint. Pure chaos, really.
It really was. So our mission today is to try and make sense of it all, to distill what actually happened across FP1 and FP2. The leaderboard looked completely different by the end of the day. Okay, let's get into it.
Well, the headline has to be that volatility and where things ended up. McLaren looked, really dominant early on, seemed quite settled.
Yeah, they do.
But by the time we finished, Ferrari, and Lewis Hamilton specifically, setting the fastest time we've seen all weekend, that 1.41.293.
Which is quite something.
It really is. So the big question is, what happened? How did we get such a massive shift in, well, everything pace, fortune in just a couple of hours? What were the forces at play?
Let's start back at the beginning then, FP1. The morning session. It was, for a while anyway, all about McLaren, wasn't it? Lando Norris was, well, flying.
He really was the grand dominator of that session.
He set that blistering 1.42.704.
Yeah.
And apparently he found a whole second compared to his earlier runs.
Yeah.
That's a huge chunk of time.
Huge improvement. And Piastri was right there too, just what, 0.3 back? It showed McLaren had some serious pace straight out of the box.
Definitely looked strong initially.
But and it's a big buck with Baku. FP1 was also about the track itself biting back. This place gives zero room for error.
We saw that pretty quickly.
Yeah, plenty of warnings. And then that massive interruption, the red flag, we lost, what, over 20 minutes? Because SAINZ hit a curb so hard.
Wait, this was the curb incident?
Yeah, the final corner. He literally ripped a huge piece of the rubber curb right off the track surface.
Yes. That tells you something about the forces involved with these cars.
Yeah, exactly. And losing that much time, that's not just annoying. It stopped teams getting vital early checks done, crucial medium fuel runs. It just added to the confusion later on,
And even before that big stoppage, the walls were getting, shall we say, acquainted with a few cars.
Oh, yeah. Hamilton tagged the wall early, didn't he? Curve of 5.
Yep. Front left puncture, wing damage. Costly.
Max had a moment, too. Went wide at turn 16. Even Piastri, a little kiss on the wall at turn 15.
It just instantly set the tone. Precision over power and absolutely no margin for error.
And you saw that struggle across the field. Look at Alonso finished way back, 15th, I think, in FP1.
Yeah, 15th out of 18. Not a great start.
While others were trying to trim drag for that monster 2.1K straight, with the big DRS zone, Aston Martin were clearly already finding it difficult, signaling problems early on.
Right. Only Norris and Verstappen got under 1.44 in that session, I believe.
That's right, which just makes the turnaround in FP2 even more dramatic.
Okay, so FP2, total shift. If the morning was McLaren, the afternoon was, well, all Ferrari. Lewis Hamilton.
Right on top. That 1.41.293 just pipped LECLERC, who put in a 1.41.367 himself.
Very close between them.
Extremely close. And George Russell third, so a strong showing for the Ferrari power unit overall.
Now, the detail behind Hamilton's lap, that's quite interesting, isn't it?
It really is, because the analysis suggests it wasn't just raw pace. He apparently got a tow, a slipstream rebuffo, as they say, from LECLERC on that main straight.
Oh, okay. Teamwork.
Strategic teamwork. It suggests Ferrari are really thinking about how to maximize single-lap pace together, using that huge DRS zone effect to its absolute maximum.
That's classic Baku strategy, using the toe. But does that mean LECLERC might actually have the slightly better base setup if Hamilton needed that toe to beat him?
That's a really sharp point. Maybe LECLERC's setup is more suited to his, natural style of maximizing corner speed, and Hamilton just executed that one perfect lap with the slipstream advantage.
Makes you wonder about their pure pace difference.
And adding another layer to this whole thing is the tire data. Yes, Hamilton's P1 was on the softs, but earlier, he put in a time on the medium tire
Go on.
that was actually faster than LECLERC's best soft tire run at that point in the session.
Really? On the mediums?
On the mediums, which throws up a massive question for qualifying, doesn't it? Are the mediums actually the better qualifying tire here? Maybe more consistent grip over the lap? Or was Hamilton just hitting peak track conditions right then?
That medium tire performance is maybe the biggest strategic clue from the whole day then. Reminds me a bit of the tire headaches back in Imola.
Exactly. It's a proper strategic puzzle for Saturday.
So while Ferrari were finding all this pace, McLaren's day just unraveled dramatically.
The two sides of Baku right there. Lando Norris, the FP1 hero.
Hits the wall hard. Turn 4?
Yep, broke the right rear suspension. That was him done for the last 25 minutes. Crucial long-run data.
Gone. And losing that track time, that prep time in Baku. That hurts maybe even more than the repair bill.
Absolutely. And it wasn't just Lando. Piastri had his own brush with the barriers again. Turned 15 this time. Ended up well outside the top 10.
So the team that looked so strong ended the day with, well, more questions than answers. Damage, missing data. Shows how fast things change here.
It really does. And even the guys at the very top, the Ferrari drivers, they were pushing the limits too.
LECLERC especially, right? He knows how to get pole here 4 in a row.
Yeah, but he was right on that edge. Reports of multiple wall touches, turn 3, and apparently gave the wall a proper smack with the rear left as well.
Lance Stroll, too. Slight touch at turn 15. Seems like everyone was finding that limit, or maybe just slightly crossing it.
Running on a knife edge the whole field, it just proves, again, this track doesn't forgive anything.
So looking at the bigger picture from FP2 then, Ferrari, clearly strong. That power unit working well on the long straights.
Definitely. And Hamilton's pace. Maybe this is that sort of new beginning he talked about needing after some earlier struggles this year. It looked genuine.
And we saw some surprises up there, too. Antonelli P4, Ollie Bierman P5. That raised a few eyebrows.
Yeah, impressive stuff from the youngsters.
What does that tell us, seeing them mixing it up there? Is the midfield suddenly closer, or is this something specific to Baku?
I think it's more about specific run plans and that engine performance shining through here.
Right.
You know, young drivers often get those low fuel qualifying sims when the track is probably at its best.
Okay. Maximizing the conditions.
Exactly. And it really shows how efficient that Ferrari power unit is in low drag trim, which is just critical for this circuit layout, especially down that massive straight with the DRS open. Their actual race pace might see them settle back a bit, but it's a great sign for the engine's potential on a single lap.
Got it. Now let's talk about the Spanish drivers. 2 very different stories there.
Sainz hovered around the top 10, ended up 11th in FP2 after being 8th in FP1. Looks like he's in the mix, potentially fighting for Q3 in points. Decent showing.
But Fernando Alonso, oof, a really tough afternoon for him. P19 in FE2, second last.
Yeah, and this really gets back to that core technical challenge of Baku. The sources point to a fundamental issue with the Aston Martin's aerodynamic efficiency.
Meaning?
Well, basically, to get the grip they need in the twisty castle section, they have to run quite a bit of rear wing. But that wing creates too much drag.
Which kills them on the streets.
Kills them, especially on that 2.1-kilometer main straight through that long DRS activation zone. They apparently tried taking wing off in FP2 to gain speed.
But that made the car unstable.
Exactly. Too unstable in the corners. So they're caught in this compromise they can't seem to solve. That lack of straight line speed is just brutal here. Looks like a, well, complicated weekend ahead for Fernando, as they put it.
And weaving through all these individual stories is that constant theme we keep coming back to the incidents.
The density was incredible. Verstappen, Hamilton, Piastri, Norris, LECLERC, Stroll, plus others like Hajar, Bortolito mentioned too. Everyone seemed to find the limit, or the wall.
It really feels like the track itself is the main character here sometimes. It dictates everything, punishes every tiny mistake. Doesn't matter if you're a rookie or a 7-time champ. Broken suspension, lost time. Relentless.
Absolutely relentless. And that volatility, that's what makes predicting qualifying so hard. It's not just about who's fastest on paper.
It's about survival.
It's about survival and nailing that one clean lap when the pressure cooker is at maximum, finding the absolute limit, but not stepping over it. That's who gets pole here.
So let's try and wrap this up. What's the takeaway from this deep dive into Friday's chaos? FP1, clearly McLaren's. Norris looks superb.
Yeah, for a few hours they look like the team to beat.
But FP2, a powerful comeback from Ferrari, led by Hamilton's, well, surprising P1 time, aided by that slipstream and the pace on the mediums.
Definitely. They finished the day looking very strong.
But the competition still looks tight, doesn't it? Yet the risk level feels sky high after today, especially with key players like Norris losing so much valuable long-run data.
Agreed. The potential for mistakes, for more drama, is huge, which sets up a potentially phenomenal qualifying, given the chaos and how close the times were, and LECLERC's history here.
4 poles in a row.
Exactly. 4 poles in a row. He knows how to string a lap together here better than anyone, arguably. So here's something for you to think about.
Okay.
We saw Hamilton top FP2. Unexpected speed, yes, helped by the toe, great medium tire pace. But is that sudden resurgence from the 7-time champion the real threat for pole tomorrow? Or will Leclerc's unbelievable consistency here, his mastery of getting that single lap done on this wild circuit, ultimately win out again?
Hamilton's form versus Leclerc's Baku magic. That's the big question for tomorrow.
It absolutely is. We'll find out soon enough.